What made you guys choose to go on the foundation course?
So I chose to go on the foundation course because I was really silly, and last year I only wanted to go to one drama school, so I only applied to one, and needless to say didn't get into it. And then I looked up all the foundations, and I thought Rose Bruford sounded nice, and also it appealed to me that you could choose not to be in London, because obviously Edinburgh's got a really great student theatre scene, so it meant that as it was only 4 days a week, I could be like constantly doing other stuff at the same time. So that was why Edinburgh. I did mine in Edinburgh.
And I did mine in Sidcup. I did it because I was 18 and had no grades. So I was like, I'm just gonna audition for drama school. But when I was actually at the auditions, I realised I wasn't ready for a 3-year course. And then I found out about the foundation. I was like, yeah, cool. Like, it's a nice, easy way to introduce myself to what it would actually be like to spend 10 hours a day just doing acting training. And then so I did it because I didn't want to commit to 3 years, but I still wanted the experience, and it really helped give me what I need in a way that was easy to take rather than just fucking everything. Yeah.
I'm Chris. I did the Edinburgh foundation course. For me, I was doing college, studying acting at college for 3 years. And I want to go to drama school as well, but I knew that I was nowhere near the standard or the discipline that was needed. And I always want to do a foundation course as well, but in Scotland there just isn't any at all. And then moving down to England or going to London or whatever, the costs were just like frying my brain. I could never do it. And then I saw by chance that Edinburgh was doing one, and so that just made all the sense to me, because Rose Bruford had a good reputation for foundation courses, and it was actually affordable. Yeah. I mean, in the sense of I'm in debt, but it's not as much debt as I would have been.
I'm Jenny. I'm from the foundation in Folkestone. I always get those two mixed up. The reason I decided to do the foundation was because I've been trying for drama school for a few years, and I wasn't getting anywhere, and I just knew that I was missing something, and I wasn't quite sure what. But when I heard about the foundation, I thought, okay, maybe I need to go back to basics and kind of take baby steps and then try for drama school.
You are on 3 different locations, foundation course,
and
Sidcup.
different years.
And different years. So why Folkestone, why Edinburgh, why Sidcup?
I think Sidcup for me, I always have such a need to be near London anyway, and so for me going somewhere like Edinburgh or Folkestone, even though I knew I was going to get the same quality of training, it was more the surrounding, because same with the 3-year course, the degree is very similar to wherever you apply. However, it's the surroundings and the 3 years that you've got to be sure that this is somewhere that you've got to make your home for the next 3 years. So regardless of whether it was 3 years or 6 months, for me, I wanted somewhere that was going to be my home for 6 months and potentially longer if I wanted to apply here again. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I think Edinburgh for me, because I'm from Newcastle, so it's quite near to Edinburgh, and yet it's still like a good hour and a bit on the train. So it's like, for me, just going straight from school and living by myself independently in a completely different city that wasn't too far away. Like London for me is very far away, but still getting that independence was a really good thing for me. And now, I look back at how I was at the start, and I feel like just living by myself, even in a new city where, Scotland is its own little world, to be honest. Like, there's so much going on in Scotland, it's incredible. And I feel ready now to live elsewhere, and I feel ready for London because I've been eased into it by going somewhere away from home, but that's not too far.
Yeah, so like Ginny said, it's like a bridge.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely is.
Yeah. For me, I think living in Folkestone just couldn't have suited me more. It was amazing because it was the first time I'd ever lived away from home. I'd had a year out, but it was still, for me, it was still a big move. Oh my gosh, I'm getting out of the house, what's happening? And I live in Milton Keynes, just outside London, so I am landlocked. There is no sea around me. That whole vibe, it was completely foreign to me.
So moving to the seaside and getting the amazing quality of drama school training, oh my gosh, it was like the perfect little cocktail. Yeah, it was like a 6-month holiday because it was just like by the sea all the time. Like, I mean, Folkestone Coast isn't the prettiest, but the town itself is just stunning. Like, so much has been poured into it creatively. And like, yeah, there's the amazing creative quarters, which is just the best place to hang out. There's always music, there's always different things going on. So for me, it was the best of both worlds. And I think if I had been thrown into Sidcup, as amazing as it would be to be surrounded, like in the bubble, in like the Bruford bubble, which I think is so lush, for me, I'd have been overwhelmed, I think. And I would have been a bit like, oh, I think I'd rather have my own like little world to start off with, which is what we had, because in Folkestone, it's not a studenty place, like, so our class were the student we represented the student lifestyle in Folkestone, which was so nice and comfortable for all of us, and we just, little family home.
Yeah. And I think also with Edinburgh as well, just what you're saying about how it's like it's not like there's so much creativity and stuff in Folkestone as well. Like Edinburgh has its own fringe festival, and like I thought that'd be so interesting, and it's like there's just like there's so much going on in all these different areas, and I thought it'd be interesting to like explore elsewhere other than just maybe London.
And it's nice to make your like leave your own tracks as well in a new place, because obviously London is an amazing, like, it's got a plethora of creative types all over the shop, but that's exactly how I felt in Folkestone. We very much had our own community. It was lovely.
Why did you choose the Edinburgh Foundation course up at Summer Hall? Was there a reason that you were drawn to that and not any of the others?
I was drawn to it because I live right beside Summer Hall, literally like 2 seconds away. So it was just like local, luckily for me. But
Summer Hall's a great place.
Yeah.
It's full of lots of creative people. There's
a real buzz in it's a creative buzz in the environment, and you want to be working and creating.
There's artists, there's digital artists, there's casting directors,
there's a pub,
headshot people, there's a pub. It's a great environment, it's really good. But also Edinburgh is a great place, like once you get on the scene, there's lots of contacts through all of our tutors.
Totally. Especially our 2 main acting tutors, Pete and Lucy Ann, they are working actors and directors, and they have incredible contacts that have just been wonderful to have these people come and take workshops, or casting directors come watch you do your monologues and give you advice, and just to make those connections so early on in like a possible career for yourself is just brilliant.
Yeah, and we had the privilege to go see our acting tutors actually act
multiple times
on stage, and that was incredible to see, because obviously we know they can act, but to see them in a professional setting is very inspiring.
Yeah, and it's inspiring as well, because like they're teaching, and it's like this is maybe something that you could do, and it is like possible and manageable and everything like that. It's really inspiring.
I love Edinburgh, first of all, as a city. It's a great transition city. Say if you come from, like I come from Durham, which is not a big city really. It's small enough but big enough that you feel like you're a part of something, but it's not too overwhelming at all. And there's great transport as well. But then I also really get excited by the Fringe, obviously, that happens every year. And we've all taken part. There's always auditions for shows to be in.
Normally around the time the course finishes, so it's just perfect if you want to stay in Edinburgh. It is a beautiful city to stay in. There's like so much culture and a lot of theatre going on. Quite a bit, like filming's picking up now as well.
With the students through film schools and universities, you can get filming there. I'm actually staying until August because I'm in a show on the Fringe. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
And
Tell them
you've been in a show. It's Bonnie and Clyde. It's beautiful. You're on a show. Joan of Arc.
Oh yeah, well that's not the Fringe.
Yeah.
But there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
It's just packed. You can join any kind of society. You can join any club. I think you can join uni societies. You joined a choir.
I went to the uni choir, which was good. And then also Glasgow is not far away, which is
RCS.
And it's even got more things over there going on. RCS, very involved with RCS, like through our course, the tutors a lot teach at RCS, and shows, an abundance of shows, and it's just everything to do.
But for you personally, what were the highlights of the foundation course? What did you take from it?
I think for me, it was a real sort of eye-opener into what actor training was going to be like. I think you have an idea of what it's going to be like, and whether it's going to be easy or whether it's going to be hard, and then you end up sort of just surprising yourself really with kind of people that you meet and how far you would push yourself, and you surprise yourself a lot of the time, which is nice. It's exciting, and it's definitely, I would do it in a heartbeat all over again. And for me, I think it was a nice kind of a taste of a bit 3 years squeezed into 6 months. And it was something that I really took from it, and it was kind of confirmed to me that I really wanted to apply for a 3-year BA. So that was what it kind of confirmed for me.
Yeah, I feel the same as well. And I think also doing a foundation course for me was such a good confidence booster as well. I think going straight from school into a foundation course was perfect, because I think it's a lot of work, and a 3-year course I think would be very intense, and the foundation was just such a good way to kind of ease you into that and like help you kind of, and especially being around people who are the same as you as well. So it's very different from being in school where like everyone's got all these different interests and people are applying to university, and it's very different to drama school. You're suddenly around a group of people who have the same objectives as you, and it's great. It's so good. It's great.
So for me, I came away from foundation feeling kind of overwhelmed with all these new ideas of things that I wanted to do as well as acting. And I came out and I was like, oh my gosh, so I've never done any production, I've never done any stagecraft, I've never done any like direction. Like it would just be so much more fun to actually get some tastes of everything before I threw myself into a really highly disciplined 3 degree basically. So that was what I took away from it, and also the sense of like, why did I ever think I was ready to do my degree the year before basically, because I applied for the BA Honours and was deferred onto the foundation course, and I think like a term in, me and loads of other people on the course were like, why did we think we were ready for 3 years of this? We were so not prepped for it. So yeah, it's just the perfect bridge basically. I think
One highlight, a tutor or a class?
Rhymy.
Okay.
Rhymy, hands down Rhymy. Honestly, some of the best tutors, and Pat obviously, but like honestly, you really feel like you get the best training, hands down. He's like the most eccentric Bolivian beautiful man you will ever meet, that comes up with the most random quotes but really makes you think about life, and will only say one thing for you to sort of feel confident in yourself or feel comfortable, and stop doubting yourself and be bold.
I think especially like all the tutors and their dedication to the course, like literally we had Lucianne and Pete, and they both are married and they've got kids together, and yet they still somehow managed to be so dedicated and literally like always there for us. Anything we needed, they're always there. It's just lovely.
Because they're amazing directors and actors in their own right.
Yeah, and the actors in their own right, so we could go and watch them in plays. Like we went to see Pete in The Christmas Carol and Lucianne in Ulster American. It's so great to actually watch your teachers doing what they teach you, and you can see by watching them the things that they teach you. It's just really interesting to see how they put it to work.
I would have to say that the highlight of the course for me was our voice coach, Michael Corbidge. He is an absolute hero, and he just, kind of similar to Romy, he would have to say the smallest thing and it would give you so much faith in yourself, and you would feel like, oh my gosh, I can actually do anything, this is incredible. And yeah, it was one of those things like he made you work for his praise as well, which is really nice. So if he complimented you or something you've done, you feel like, oh my god, I made it. But no, he just empowered all of us every single day, and by the end of the course we had like, I remember on our graduation day we had like a little circle where we were like, right, everyone talk about the highlights of the year, and he just said that he feels humbled as a practitioner to work with us because he feels so valued by us, and that meant so much to us as an ensemble. We were all weeping, we were like, oh my gosh, don't leave us.
Yeah, because you get so close.
Honestly, yeah, we all empowered each other, and he was just such an uplifting presence. It was lovely.
What was one of the highlights of the course for you, the foundation course this year?
I think the biggest highlight was I really enjoyed the scene study because of the knowledge and access that our acting tutors had to contemporary, like really recent scripts, and they're so dedicated and really get to know you and push you in just the way that you need to be pushed without pushing you too far, but helping you unlock that potential. I think that was just like almost revolutionary for me, because it was just brilliant to be in such a great environment and discovering things, especially at the end of the course, but like before everyone gets like sad about leaving and things like that. It was just great because they know what they're doing. They just know what they're doing.
They chose the specific scripts for us, so they know us really well, and that showed really well. I'd agree, that was the total highlight. And to see how far people have come who you met 6 months ago to get up there and just
incredible. Like the change, like the development is
because you don't think, oh, I can't change that much in 6 months,
because you don't see it in yourself.
You don't see it in yourself, but then you see it in other people and you think, well, they've changed so much. And then you reflect on yourself and you're like, wow, the change is the highlight.
But it's just not even that, it's like as a person, I feel like we've all become like better people. Fuller people.
My highlight was in that courtyard right there,
with the
behind the camera. That corridor coming out of a masterclass workshop, dripping in sweat, like just drenched in sweat. Like we just finished a Skutowski exercise, and this group of about, I don't know, it was 20 of us in this small room over there, really hot, who before this had all kind of had our cool hats on of like, oh, I'm me, you're you, like let's put forward this idea of who we want to be to each other. You just had this mess, like huge pile of sweaty bodies out in the courtyard. I'm like, oh, this is nice. And it was a really lovely moment of realizing that when you really push through all that rubbish around, like at a young age especially, trying to be the right person and just be, better stuff happens, and it was really enlightening for me to have that, and felt really great as well, because a workout always feels good.
The Edinburgh course, all the regional courses are 4 days, not the 5 days. Did that concern you before you went?
I thought it was an advantage, definitely, especially coming out of school straight away, where you have like a 5-day and then a 2-day weekend. This course is intense at times, and it's tiring, and to have that extra day to sort yourself out, to get your shopping in, especially if you're like self-reliant, makes a massive difference. And I think it focused us better on the course, because you can have downtime as well.
No, definitely. And I think that like it being Wednesday to Saturday as well as it was, I don't know, is it going to be but even that, I was a bit worried about that, because I was like, oh, am I going to have a weekend? But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday just become your weekend. It's just shifted, and it's actually quite nice having Monday and Tuesday off, because it's not a manic weekend like if you go out in town, it's relaxed, and I actually found it really beneficial. I suppose if you wanted a job, you'd have to find quite a flexible employer, but still, like that goes with any course, any days of the week. So
Because and quite a few you did work, didn't you? As well, to support yourselves.
Disco. We were on, a few of us.
A tour in Edinburgh. There's just so much in Edinburgh.
So much to do.
So was that important for you as a factor, the fact that you did have a bit of time to work, which meant that you could support yourself whilst you were doing the course?
Also just have time to give yourself time and space, because I think we really needed that, especially in the first few weeks. It is hard to adjust to, but you know, you do.
It also gave us opportunity to do things as a group outside of the course.
We end up, so you spend like 4 days with each other,
and then you spend the next 3 days with each other as well, like the whole.
It's lovely. It was a brilliant environment.
Yeah, it's great. And I wanted to say, but Summer Hall's such a great place, because it's not out of the way of Edinburgh. It's totally out of the way. Like for a job, like you can roll out of the course and you can just go straight into your job if you need to. And the same with like going to the theatre. It's right down the street. It's really great.
It's so good. And also, the location, you're just by the Meadows, which is just like one of the most beautiful park in Edinburgh, and it's just wonderful to look out on it and just kind of see the calm, and it is really a beautiful place to study.
And how have auditions been going this year?
Good, pretty good.
Pretty good so far. I've had one with Rose Bruford, the initial one, got the recall, which I had today, and I had RCS yesterday, which went okay. But I think where I went wrong, so I know what to improve
Yeah,
on.
that's the thing, is now that I can walk out of an audition and go, okay, that was slightly lacking.
Yeah.
Okay, next time I need to make sure I don't do that, or like I do this better, or being more aware of what you're doing in the audition room.
I left the course not necessarily being able to nail everything, so that's obviously so difficult, but I know where I go wrong and I know how to improve going forward.
Definitely.
It's also worth remembering that like half of the people who are your tutors also work on panels, and there's this really interesting thing of like, I think I've seen all of my tutors on a bit of a down day or feeling a bit rough around the edges, and it's that thing of, oh, they're just people. Like, yes, they are people who are going ticks and boxes and da da da, but they're also people because you know, everyone, well, pretty much everyone who was in Edinburgh also doubles up as panel member.
I only auditioned for ETA today. No other school is the only course that I want to do. And if the question is how to go, I feel like it went great. Yeah, so it's been strange to tie this into publicity. It was really great leaving the course, having this time to myself to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do, and then realise it's not that I want to audition to 10 different schools because I want to be an actor and I need training. It's just, no, I want to do this specific thing at this college with this methodology. That's it.
I've had recalls from Manmet and RADA and Rose Bruford, and I did my Manmet recall on Saturday, that was it. I'm still waiting to hear back from RADA and Manmet, so yeah, it's going well so far. It's exciting.
Yeah, and I have, I got recalls from Royal Welsh and Rose Bruford, and I did my Royal Welsh last Wednesday, and yeah, this today, and we've still got a couple more first rounds to do, Central and Bristol, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
So you've been recalled at Rose Bruford and
Rose Bruford and GSA.
Great. And Maddie, what about you?
Yeah, so I've just finished my course this year, so all auditions are literally now. So like this whole week I'm just auditioning every single day. So I've got this recall today, and a few like Bristol and we already know the classics.
Are they first rounds?
Yeah, all first rounds.
I've
this
still got a
week.
few first rounds.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling quite confident, a lot more confident than last year, so it's feeling good.
So I've applied for 5 different schools this year. So Rose Bruford, GSA, Royal Welsh College, LIPA and Birmingham Conservatoire. And I've had no's from GSA and Royal Welsh, but I've actually been recalled everywhere else, which is really nice. So that's a good old boost for me.
And do you feel more prepared now? Did it help you in terms of auditioning and...
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no question.
I think you get so many skills anyway, like from everything from visiting practitioners to weekly masterclasses to mock auditions, and so things that you probably don't think you need. I know that I'm probably maybe a lot more certain in myself in my head than maybe someone who hasn't done a foundation. Whether it makes a massive difference between the two, like I'd say for me, I definitely hand on heart would do it all over again.
Yeah.